There was an incident I read about. You chased a bail jumper in South Central LA a long time before the business.
I've chased a lot of bail jumpers in South Central. I've been all around the world chasing bail skips. I've been to China. I've been to the Dominican Republic. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been all throughout the U.S. Chasing bail skips, and we had a fair amount in South Central Los Angeles. And some of them go upside down. For the most part, they don't. Most people are good-hearted. Most people are good. But yeah, we've had some instances where things have gone upside down, and I have the same philosophy with myself as I do the people that work for me. And we hire fugitive recovery agents. Those are investigators that chase or track down individuals that fail to appear. If we can call in law enforcement and have them assist us, or we can assist them, I think the more the better. There's no necessarily glory in arresting somebody. I hope not. I hope we don't have that mentality. But I tell people the most important thing is your security, the security of others, and the security of that individual that you're placing into custody. Last thing we ever want is for anybody to be hurt. I'd rather walk away and pay the bond. We don't want anybody hurt. We don't want anybody killed. It's not worth it to me. I got to live with myself, and people of this company have to be proud of what they do. But there has been instances where things have gone upside down, where we've arrested somebody, and we had one instance where we arrested somebody. I went to the back door because my partner wasn't necessarily fond of dogs, and there was a dog in the backyard, and my partner went to the front, and I hear a distress radio call that he has a problem up front. I ran to the front yard where I saw the 115-pound defendant pick up my partner, who weighed 2.25, who was also a weightlifter, and carry him through the front door. And he kept yelling the defendant was trying to take his gun. I grabbed hold of this guy, and I'm a retired powerlifter. I retired about 10 years ago. I was ranked third in the U.S. in powerlifting, and so I'm fairly strong. And I grabbed a hold of the guy. I've never felt strength of an individual like this. It was incredible. And furniture was getting tossed as we're trying to cuff this guy. And we were using all the control techniques with arm bar restraints, and still we couldn't cuff this guy. And then the family got involved, and my partner's still trying to holster his weapon, and one of the family members shut the front door, and we heard one of the sisters yell to the brother-in-law, "Don't do it." So I told my partner he's got to grab hold of this defendant because something's happening in the back of the house. They just shut the front door. I got the front door open. The father actually pulled a pipe out, said he was going to bash my head in. I told him, listen, he's got to put it down. Just then, PD pulls up. And I told the father, I said, listen, law enforcement's here, put the pipe down, let's talk to him. During this time, also, my partner's still wrestling with the defendant in the front room. Well, the father and I start to walk out, and the cops didn't know who we were, so they drew their weapons. And the father runs inside as I'm getting felony prone or laying down on the lawn. Well, I'm yelling to the cops that were on the scene. My partner's in there. They said, hey, we have backup coming. So we saw more cars. Finally, a few of the family members came out. And then my partner came to the front door with the defendant, dropped him, and the defendant ran in. My partner went on the grass also, felony prone. And I yelled back to my partner, does he still have his weapon? And he says he felt, and he says, no, my gun's gone. I told the cops, well, if you're going to shoot me, but I'm getting off the line of fire from that front of that house.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
So they got us all. They handcuffed us. They called in the SWAT team. Finally, the defendant comes to the front. The kid looks lost. They're yelling for him to get down. He's just looking around. They're telling him to get down. He won't get down. They're screaming at him. He starts to go down. Then he gets up again. Then he goes down. Then he gets up again. Finally goes down. They all jump on him. Finally get him cuffed. And we finally got all our IDs sorted out. They found out who we were, what was going on. That was great. SWAT went through the house. They could not find my partner's gun. The story that we hear is that my partner's gun was taken by the brother-in-law, and what he was going to do is he was going to pull the gun on my partner and I when the family members yelled, "Don't do it." So one of the sisters grabbed the gun, threw it over the backyard fence, which caused the gun to discharge. When the call went out, and the reason why there were helicopters, news crews, they cordoned off for 2 blocks surrounding. I've never seen more law enforcement in my life. The call went out, shots fired, officer down. And that's why we got so much support immediately. But actually LAPD, they were fantastic. They were great, very supportive. And it turns out that the individual that we were arresting was on PCP, which gave him this incredible strength. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. But it was fairly large bond. I don't recall how much it was, but it was for an armed robbery charge. But, other than a couple scrapes and bruises on our part, everything worked out well. But, it's rare that something like that happens. Majority of the time. The reason people run is because they don't want to lose their freedom. And the first thing that happens when they run is they lose their freedom. And they don't like that. They don't want to be away from their family. They don't want to be away from their friends. And that's usually how we get them. That's how we track them down. Because those are the places they go. Their family and their friends. And that's no life looking over your shoulder. And they don't like it. Some people it's a relief. And they know they have to get it. There's no statute limitations for bail jumping. So when you get caught, you're going to do your time. And in some cases, it's a greater charge to skip on bail than it is their actual charges. So, some people are relieved when they're placed into custody. But, but you do have those rare instances where something does happen. But most important thing is when you're arresting these individuals is planning. Make sure you know your surroundings, what's going on. Being aware of others. And doing all that you can to ensure that nothing happens.
With